Okay, I'm going to try and do a video for you of cushions. This cloth is the 861. You need to make sure you know which way round it is. And for this one, it's pretty straightforward. There's no nap, but basically it goes. The inside of 861 is got it's like a sort of a grid almost, whereas the other side is very much more fine. So that's on a nap cloth. You need to know which way the nap goes. So basically, you need to know which side is up, which side's down, which is straightforward. And then one side will be smooth one way and not the other. And so what I do on the cushions, if you can see this, I've got the number of the cushion and then the direction the nap needs to go in. Now for these cushions here, it doesn't really matter because of the fact that there's no nap on this one. So what I do is I make sure that I put the cloth in the middle of the table, and then here you'll see that there's the three which are fixed in. Not all of them are, but you should know roughly where the middle is. You put it in the middle of the cloth effectively, and width ways and height ways, it's I'd say the actual rubber goes around about half, so it kind of sits on the bottom third, or bottom third. And then what you do is you bring the cloth, this is the cushion, the rubber of the cushion, you bring the cloth over, and then in the middle you put a staple on the top, so just above the bolt hole. You hold it firmish. I do two, so just two staples. Okay. And then what I do is I rotate it, holding the back of the cloth, I rotate it round. So now that's the side with the number written on it with the bolt on it for the top, and the bottom goes on the next sort of side, if you like. And you do this reasonably firm, and again you just do two staples, and that's now your middle. Okay, rotate it back, straighten out the cloth, and now this is the tricky bit. This is a tricky bit because of the fact that you obviously, if you do the cloth normally, what happens is it creases at the corners. So you've probably seen tables like that. So what you need to do is to counter this, you need to pull, if you can see this, I'm not sure if I can show you this, but you can see that it's pretty much flush with each side. So if I just put it down ever so slightly, so I've got basically less in the middle than I have in the corner. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And so you can imagine that when we do this side here, so you do the two sides first, you pull it, but you pull it so basically there is more on the top. So it's sort of angled almost. So you pull it as tight as you can, you wrap it across, and then you do the top diagonal from top corner diagonally in. You just do one, and then maintaining the tension, you just do one on the bottom half, which is level with the cloth. So I'll show you. So I've done the diagonal and then the one there. So that's that side there. And then you do the same with the other side. So you want it slightly longer. So you put it tight. I tend to find it sometimes easier to do it the other way around because my right hand is stronger. So you put it round, one diagonal, and then maintaining tension, just one on the bottom. Okay, so that's now the start. Now you've got to do the corners. Now the corners are a little bit tricky because you can see here that if I just literally did it with no tension, I've got all this slack to get rid of. So what I do is I'll, using my thumb, my left thumb in this corner, I will effectively almost rotate it. You can see what I'm doing is I'm pulling this out. So then I try to make it so that it's as, I don't know if you can see that. You can see this has now got very little curve in it. So I just keep putting it out there. So here is where you'll see that you've got like a flap of excess cloth. That's what you want. So you want to pull it tight, rotate away or into the corner, and then do one on the single piece, and not where you've wrapped it round, diagonally, that effectively now meets. You should now see that there's a point here at which you can I don't know if you can see that, but there's a point where there's the excess cloth. Then what you do is you maintaining, because there is still a little bit of slack, you go from this corner, you go towards the middle, but rather than just do it sort of pulling it, you pull it and go away from the middle, and you'll see that you get rid of the crease. And then just literally do a run of staples, and every time just redo it. And these staples are close to each other, so you just keep going. And now you'll see that the slack is out. So you'll see that we've got no ruffle there, and that's good. Okay, there's ruffles here, but they're the wrong side of the staple, so that's okay. So now flip it up to the bottom, and what you do here is try to have the cloth from the middle to the straight part of the corner straight. So I tend to then put one in that position there. So I know that this bit here is just going to be, there's no creases there. And then what I do is I pull the cloth towards that staple and just literally overlap them. So I'm pulling that way and towards the middle, and that way and that way. So just to maintain the tension of the cushion. And there we are. So that's the corner all nicely done. We'll do the rest later. Then you do the other side. Now this sometimes is where it just doesn't quite work out. So again, you can see actually this has worked out really well. And that slight diagonal to the corner, the very first ones I did here, just makes a big difference, because here actually I'm almost right straight away. So again, I put it up, so I push it down that way and away from the middle. I put one diagonally on the single piece of cloth, so not on the underside, and then I just repeat. So I pull it down and away from the middle and just literally do a run. I know it's very difficult to see. I try and keep out of the way, so every time just a little bit, nice and close to each other, maintaining the tension away from the middle. And there, that's nice and smooth. Turn on the other side, and same thing. So from the point where it starts curving, just literally pull it so that there's a nice bit of tension. Put one in the middle, and then just literally lose this creasing here just by pulling it away from the edge and towards the middle, and just putting the staples close. And you'll notice that the compressor every now and again kicks in to top up. So I'm just keeping it tight, but basically I'm causing the crease to be here, this side. So this is now nice and smooth, and that's all done. So now the next thing we do is we do the top part. So we literally are now from the middle towards the end, we're pulling it down and towards the middle, because we know the slack is going to be at the corner and not the middle end. Now don't do too much, and just literally, now if you use 4mm staples, you can do as many as you like, because they come out really easily. If you're using 8 or even bigger, I've seen some using 10, then it takes forever to take them out, so you want to space them apart. And just keep maintaining the tension, not too tight, until you've gone all the way across. Same the other side, again maintaining tension towards the middle, so you're pulling down and towards the middle. The light's not brilliant here, but all the way. So you can see here you've got a row all the way down on the top, and it looks like you've got some I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like there's some ripples, but that will come out when you do the underside. So you turn it over, same thing, you pull it tight, not tight, but pull it taut, let's say, and towards the middle. And here, you should be pulling on the previous staple. That means that you get a nice consistent pull. And just do it, again, because I'm using 4mm staples, I'm quite happy to do as many as I like, because it's not going to be a pain to do at the end. Same thing with the other side. So literally pull away from you. So now, of course, you're not going from the last staple, it's where the next staple would go. So now you'll see that the underside is all done, the top side is all done, this is all nice and smooth, yeah, and we've got tension. You can just about, I guess the tension is should just about be able to push it towards the wood, not the rubber, the wood. And there's no creases here, you'll see, and no creases there either. And so that's the cushion done. The only thing you now have to do is the corner. Now this is a little bit harder. So what you need to do is, and the first couple you'll do, you'll maybe be a little bit nervous about it, but basically we've got this, let me see if I can show you. So we've got this excess here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull it diagonal. We're going to make a cut, not to the very top, but almost. We're then going to cut the excess of the side you don't see, and then we're going to pull this over and tie it there. That's what we're going to do. The thing is we could do it like that, but the problem is then we're going through 1, 2, 3 pieces of cloth, 3 pieces of cloth and the wood, so the staple won't fit in. You could use, I guess, an 8mm just for this one, but I wouldn't bother. You do 4. So let's show you what I mean. So you pull it up. It's always formed to diagonal. You stick the knife, just a normal standing knife, and you go inside carefully, and you just try and work the knife. If you push it towards the edge, you should be able to see it. This one's being a bit fiddly. And so I can see the knife there, and it's just slightly, there you go. So now this staple's come out, but that's okay, because this knife isn't brilliant. So now I'm going to pull and do this corner again. Okay, and now what we've got is we've got this. Oh, I'm going to use this cloth is a little bit more fiddly. The match that the napped match is a lot easier to do. This one has got, just a little bit more fiddly. So now we've got the incision going all the way up to there, and now I need to cut away at this part here. So carefully, not taking out the part on the top, because that's the bit we're going to go across. So just literally slice it. I might even use scissors on this. The cloth's a bit of a nightmare. And then go along the edge, and then go all the way out. So what I've done is I've cut off square. So you now see that I've got the top bit and I've got nothing there. Okay, so now what I do is I pull this effectively down straight, and I put some staples in here. So I pull it tight and I put some staples in there. Okay, so now what I've got, you'll see, is, let's see if I can show you that. So I've got the staples diagonally there, and this is all messy, but we're going to cut that off, so that's fine. So just to go over that again with the other side, so get the blade, go into the corner carefully, that's about right. There's this, oh yeah, I lost the staple, which doesn't surprise me at all. But because they're all stapled, it's okay. So that's gone to there. That's nice and neat. And now I need to cut away at this. In fact, scissors, on this cloth, scissors work better. On match, but it seemed to be okay with a knife. So just cut it, making sure I don't cut the one underneath. And then take it, basically follow the line of the staples you put in the first place. So that one and that one. Then what you do is you pull that tight over, and then you staple it down to the wood. And there you see it's nice and neat. So now what we do is we get the scissors. I can cut this off nice and neatly. And I can cut this off because we'll hide that. That'll be hidden on the table. And basically you want to cut along the edge of the staples. Don't be too aggressive because you've got some flex. What I do is I pull it, I keep it taut by pulling it away from where I'm cutting to, and I just go all the way down and then I get to the more or less the end, and I do that. Now here, on this end, you want to cut it just slightly above the wood level. So, I don't know if you can see that, but just slightly above. Make a slight incision, cut that off nice and diagonally, and then we've got this end here, where again we're doing the same thing. Just cutting it, not super close to the staples, but close enough. Right, so now we turn it around the other way and we just tidy up the other side. So with this bit here, we're literally going not too aggressively to the staples, tidying up the corner like that. So that's nice and neat, that's apart from the loose bits. And then this end here, just slightly above the line of the cushion wood, just make a slight hole, slight gap so you can put the scissors in. You can make that a bit neater. There we go. And then you literally just follow the line of the staples. Again, keeping it taut so that it makes a nice clean cut. And there you have the cushion. That's all done, nice and neat. Looks pretty good. And that's it. So you'll see that there's no creasing in the cushions, in the corners. It's nice and tight. Not too tight though, you can still squeeze it through. This 861 is a bit of a nightmare because it's thread, doesn't stick together, so you get all the little loose bits, but tied it up. That's basically it. So that's a cushion, because you'll see in the corner, you'll see that it's nice and neat. You'll lose, this bit will go into the wood, so you won't see the edge of that anyway. Same with that bit there. And that's pretty much it. What else do you need to know about when you do cushions? Well, getting the direction of the nap is very important on a nap cloth. And don't cut it until you know you've got it right. That's for sure, because if you need to adjust it, you can. Again, a nice thing with the 4mm staples is that you can take them out and they don't really damage the cloth. Longer staples might actually go through the cloth, which is not ideal, and actually tear it. So that's pretty much it. Now you might notice here, I've got just a little bit of loose, it's just raising a little bit. So I'm just going to literally get the scissors in and just tidy it up. The smoother I can make this, the easier it's going to go onto the actual the surround that is on top of the table. And that's pretty much it. And you do all 6 of them. These arrows, if your cushions haven't got them, it's a really good idea because it just reminds you. Don't worry if you've got a super fine cloth like Haints Precision. Sometimes you almost can't tell which way it is. Just do it several times. Just work your fingers along it, and you'll eventually figure it out. I think when you've done a few of them, it's really not that difficult. Always make sure, of course, you can get the bolt holes for the bolt holes. If the cloth is covering that, it's not going to help you much because you can't get them back on. And that's it. And I know I've said it a couple of times, but if you get this, I've said it a couple of times, but if you use 4mm staples, let me get those. This is obviously from my compressor gun, which is a Tac-Wise something or other. You then get these staples here, which are superb. I think you get 20,000. This is my second box, so it shows how long they last. I've done quite a few tables, and that's it. I won't do a video to take them out, take it off, because I think you know that, but basically what you do is you slice it open down the middle, you take off the corner ones, and then quite literally, so you just need a little bit tidying up. You won't need that on nap cloth. And then just pull them out. And the only thing to be careful of is the staples fly everywhere. And I mean, it used to take me, if you use 8mm staples or 6mm staples, it takes me between 10 to 15 minutes per cushion. With these 4mm staples, it takes me a minute per cushion. It's so much quicker. So definitely make sure you get 4mm staples. And that's it. And then you repeat it 6 times, or repeat it 5 times, and away you go. You put them back on, and that's cushion's done.